Welcome everyone, this is Coaching in Session. My name is Rearden and I will be your Mindset Coach today. And today we're going to be talking about health and fitness and this overall wellness, right? Because when we look at our health right now, it is one of the most important things that we have to get a hold of. If we don't have a good health, how can we have a good life? Now, there's some people who are just out of shape and they say, oh, I'll get in shape eventually. I'll do this eventually. When is eventually? When the doctor says you don't have any other choice but to get in shape, or you have a stroke, or you just have a tumble and you realize that you are not impenetrable anymore. When we're young, we can run around and jump around and do cartwheels and backflips, and the world is our oyster. Yet when we're older, we have to be more cautious. We have to be more careful. We have to know our body. Now, if you're younger and you're listening to this, just understand, don't work out with weights until you're like 15. Play a lot of sports. So if you are in elementary, play sports. If you are going to be in high school, start playing sports, getting ready to start lifting weights. In college, that's when you're really going to start hitting the weights and you're going to start really diving into more fitness and sports and things like that. Now, if you are having a hard time getting into any of that and you're just trying to figure out, well, what is your niche or whatever you want to call it, I recommend finding something you like to do. If you like swimming, do swimming. If you like a particular type of sport, not just watching it, playing it, is going to propel you to do more actions. For example, I don't like watching baseball, but I like playing baseball. It's just more fun to play than it is to watch it. Some people love watching football, but they wouldn't want to play football because they'll get a concussion before you know it. So this depends on what you enjoy. Some people are going to be runners. Some people are going to be bikers. Some people are going to be yogis. Some people are going to be weightlifters. No matter what you do, understand the object to health and fitness is movement. And we're going to be breaking down some of the work I do here at Rearden Concepts with health and fitness and wellness training, because we need to get our body back in order. Otherwise, we're going to be in bad shape in the coming years. All right, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and then to head over to reardenconcepts.com so you can see what we do actually here in the business, because we do more than just health and fitness. We do more than just mindset coaching. We do more than just life coaching. We do more than just relationship coaching. We do more than just youth mentoring and coaching. We help people change their lives. We know the work that we do, the things we put out into the world, people are just going to start to attract that, right? Positive is going to attract positive, even though magnets, positive and negative, are going to attract. So we want to make sure that we have positive things in our life and we're doing the right thing. And today we're going to be talking about one of the aspects of my training and my coaching, and that's going to be talking about one of my services, health and fitness coaching. Now, health and fitness coaching is going to be different and unique to everyone. There's not just one plan that I can give people and say, well, if you follow this plan, you're going to be in shape. There is an aspect of the personal aspect, the individual aspect that we have to address. If we do not address that, how can we get you to the body, the lifestyle that you want? So fitness coaching, we're going to be looking at your overall well-being of your activity. How much movement are you doing in a day? I know people get these Fitbits and these smartwatches and they have their phones now and they try to get 6,000 to 10,000 steps a day. That's bare minimum, where if you're getting 6,000 steps, that's basically a regular day. Now, we live in a very easy world again, and we don't have to go out really. We can stay at home and we can work. We can get food delivered to us so we don't have to go out and do things. So we are maybe the most inactive generation ever on this earth. So that means we need to figure out how we can apply more movement into our life. Fitness coaching is looking at that. I don't want people to think fitness coaching is, oh my goodness, I got to go lift some weights. Oh, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to go run on the treadmill. This is not fitness coaching. Fitness coaching is figuring out what you want to do, what you like, and then doing it. Accountability, right? We can develop workout plans for you here. We have, but the workout plan that you cater to yourself is going to be what you like. Now, this is not to say if you don't like doing legs, you don't do legs. Or if you only like doing chest and arms and biceps and triceps, you only do those. And then you just have big arms and a big upper body and a small lower body. Now, I understand you might be really enthusiastic on your chest days and your back days and your arm days, but then maybe on leg day, you have a little bit less enthusiasm. That's when you have to get someone. You have to get a partner. You have to get a trainer. You have to get someone who's going to push you, because when you know you don't like something, you're just not going to push yourself. So a lot of people, they don't like working out. They don't like sweating. They don't like being uncomfortable. But we have to be uncomfortable so we can become comfortable, more comfortable in the proper manner. Right now, people are being uncomfortable in comfort rather than being comfortable in comfortable. So that means we have a lot of people who are out of shape and they're just not doing anything. They're not taking action. But then there's that other side. We have people who are taking action, but they're not taking massive action or the fullest potential of what they can take. It depends on what you want. Fitness coaching is going to be addressing that. And we're also going to be talking about health and wellness coaching. This is going to be about what you eat. And for most people, they're eating too much, right? If you're gaining weight, it's because you are just not needing all the calories that you're putting in your body. So you have to get rid of some of the excess calories somehow. Yes, you can diet and not intake any more calories, but your body is going to eventually get insulin resistance. So we need to make sure, well, what can we do in order to lose the weight that we gained and then to keep that weight off? Not saying that you can't have your cake and your ice creams and your cookies. You can have those, but we learn to have it in moderation. What does our body need? And our brain is going to say that we need sugar and we need carbs because that is what the brain does. We need fuel. The brain is saying, I need as much fuel as I can. And then if I don't need it, guess what? I'll just put it as fat. When you grow up, it's harder to get rid of that fat. So we have to make sure as we're growing, we're learning our body. Most of the work that I'm going to be doing with health and fitness is with older clientele because they're looking to get in shape. They're trying to find the answers. And this is kind of like a one-stop fit all. Now, even when you come to me and we start the health and wellness training, we look at the mindset aspect of it, meaning, why are you not in shape? That's it. Why are you not in shape? Because now that we know why, what do we do? So if you are eating too much, what do we do about it? If you're not exercising enough, what do we do about it? And we implement small steps along that way to get to that goal. Now, we might get a personal trainer still. So you're going to be working with me and a personal trainer. You might need a nutritionist because your diet is all out of whack and you don't want to do the work in order to find out what you're supposed to be eating. So you might have a nutritionist also. You might be able to get a combo fitness trainer nutritionist. I know a couple. So you can always refer to my sources and get what you need. But for most people, they're going to need to divvy that up. I'm going to need to speak to a nutritionist, get some blood work done, figure out what I'm allergic to, figure out what my body likes. And then that's what we're going to start to implement. Yeah, we can play the guessing game, but I would rather us have a solid plan rather than just a plan. Anyone can make a plan. We need a solid plan that's going to work for you. That is the whole aspect of mindset coaching with health and wellness. We want you to get to a better body, better life. But the problem that many people are going to be facing is that they're going to have bad habits. Those bad habits are going to be, well, I don't know how to work out, making excuses. Maybe they say they don't have any time. I mean, we can go down the list of bad habits, right? Eating 3 hours before bed, go for it, right? The purpose of us trying to get into the best shape is to do better things for us, better things for our life. Our goal is to get as much energy as we can in our day. If we find that we're not getting any energy in our day, what are we doing incorrectly? What do we need to do to adjust that? For some people, it's going to be a big adjustment, a lifestyle change maybe. For some people, it's just a few tweaks here and there. And for most of the people who work for me, they don't come for fitness and health coaching. It's kind of like a bonus I offer them. They come for mindset coaching or life coaching or youth mentoring. But then we fall into that health and wellness training too. Because they see me, they see the work I've done, they see the people I've worked with. And they're like, well, you made great work with them. It takes a longer time for fitness and health coaching than it does for mindset coaching. Mindset, boom, snap my fingers, we're done. Career coaching, I can snap my fingers, but sometimes we have to wait because I'm not the employer. For relationship coaching, that can take a lot of unwinding. Think of it as yarn that is just tangled up from years and years and years of being in a drawer, right? I don't know how a yarn can just be in a drawer and just get tangled, but it happens. So that means the yarn is just tangled up and we have to take our time and we have to unravel that yarn. After we're done unraveling it, we have to put it back together neatly and then we have to maintain it. But for fitness coaching and health coaching, it can take a year, maybe 2 years, because I'm not about getting surgeries and getting fast fix and fad diets. I don't believe in that. I believe in something that's going to create the mindset that's going to make it long lasting, long term. You're going to have the mindset of someone who wants to be in shape, who eats healthy. And it's not that you're going to get the mindset of, ooh, cake, I don't want that ever again. Ooh, pizza, oh, I don't want that ever again. Ooh, tacos, no thank you. You don't get into that type of mindset. You just say, I understand how much I'm putting into my body. I understand what my body needs. And if you understand what your body needs, then you're already halfway there, because most people don't even know that. And then they just have to implement some type of patterns into their day where they can start to be more active and to do the things that are going to be beneficial for them. And what I find when it comes to fitness coaching, fitness training, is that people are not willing to go on a long journey. Everyone wants a quick fix. Give me the quick fix, doctor. Give me the quick pill. Give me the quick fad diet. That's what I want. That's what I need. They do it. They lose the weight. They get the results. But then they don't keep the results. And the only thing we're doing now is we're reinforcing the subconscious mind saying, well, you tried it. You lost weight, but you just gained the weight back. So what's the purpose? What's the point, right? Why do we even try? Like, let's just not do anything. You just stay in homeostasis and you could stay at the same weight you were. You were fine. You didn't have a heart attack yet. I think we'll be okay for a couple more years. That's literally what the brain is telling you. But we need to tell the brain something different. We have full control of our conscious mind, and we can start to do the things that are going to change the subconscious mind. There is a long journey to fitness and health. I want people to understand that it's not something that's just quick. It's going to take a long time. For people who come to me with health and fitness coaching, they're with me for the longest period of time than the people who come for me for mindset, career coaching, things like that, because I'm able to do the other ones so much quicker. But for health and fitness coaching, it could take 9 months, 12 months, around there. And you're going to see some amazing results. The body just doesn't change overnight. If you go to the gym today, all right, I'm going to go lift some dumbbells. I'm going to go do some squats. I'm going to go run on the treadmill, right? And you leave that gym sweating. You're like, "Ooh, I'm sweating and I had a good workout." The next day you wake up, you're going to be sore, number one, but let's pretend you don't feel sore. You're going to look in the mirror and you're going to look exactly the same. Your body doesn't change that quick. The body needs time to adapt. That's why what we do is a little hack that you can do. So I'm giving everyone one of the secrets that I utilize with all my clients is we take a picture on day one. You can wear a bathing suit, you can wear nothing, doesn't matter. This picture is for you. Now, after you take that picture day one, you're supposed to take a picture every 15 days. So typically it's on the 1st of the month and on the 15th of the month. If you're in February, you have 28 days, still the 1st of the month, the 15th of the month. If you're in another month, it got 30 days, 1st of the month, 15th of the month, right? But that's what we're trying to do. Every 2 weeks, we take a picture. Do you think you're going to notice the difference between the pictures from the last picture you took to the picture you're taking? Maybe, maybe not. Typically, no. However, that first picture you took, and you look at it 3 months later, you're going to notice some differences. That first picture, and you look at 6 months later, you're going to notice a lot more differences. That first picture, 9 months later, you're going to notice tremendous amounts of difference. You're going to feel different. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more confidence. You're no longer going to look in the mirror and say, you're big and beautiful, or you're big and handsome. You're going to say, I own this, and I can get better. And you're going to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. But people get these bad habits. People want fast. They want a quick fix. They procrastinate. They eat a whole cheesecake and they say, this is self-care. This is my self-care day. They go out with their friends and they eat too much every single weekend. Maybe every single evening, right? You go out with your colleagues, have a little bit too much to drink. You don't have any energy to wake up, or you're hungover and now your body is trying to repair itself because you have done damage that's not beneficial to that body's growth. Alcohol is a foreign substance to the body. Yes, you might be stressed at work and you need alcohol to forget, but now your body is in overdrive trying to get rid of this chemical that you put into it. Your liver is doing all this work and now you're waking up, you're dehydrated, you're tired, groggy, maybe you have a headache, migraine. All of this because you're not facing the true issues. Now, stress is going to be one of the biggest concerns we have to deal with in health and fitness. Most people are going to be too stressed and they're going to say they don't have any time. And the reason why they don't have any time is because they're too stressed. We have to take some of that stress away. Mindset coaching. So now you can start to see how mindset and health coaching and fitness coaching all tie together. Because if you are stressed, are you well? Most people who are stressed are not going to be active. And if they are active, to what degree? So we are going to give ourselves a bunch of excuses all the time. We can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this. I understand. But what can we do today, right? Start small. It's going to add up to the big stuff. So let's start to look at some workouts now. So when you're getting ready to go on that fitness journey, you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to do in the gym. You might get a trainer, you might come on to reardenconcepts.com and you might get a fitness plan or to get at least some guidance about what you can do and see what you like. You're going to have all of these different types of things, right? So you can have different types of cardio. You can have steady state, low and moderate intensity, high intensity, right? Which one is for you? Well, which one do you like? Everyone's going to have a different type of palate when it comes to cardio. I like swimming. I don't like the treadmill. I don't like running on the treadmill. I will do steady state on the treadmill, but I won't run on the treadmill. I just don't like it. I just don't like the feel of it. When I was in college, I was always running on the treadmill. Now I just don't like it. I don't know why. I would rather run around the track outside. That's just me. So I'm not going to use the treadmill. The bike, the same thing. I do go on the bike. Typically on a leg day, I'll do maybe 10, 15 minutes, but it's a high resistance to kind of get my legs pumping, right? Get those legs going still. Now, that's after I've already did the squats and all the leg presses and the curls. And that is after that. So it's like the whipped cream on top of the ice cream. I did what I was supposed to do, and then now I'm doing something different, right? So this is the cardio. High intensity, right? So that's going to be your HIIT workout. You're going to be maybe doing some sprints, things like that, going 80 to 90% of your speed. Now, I know it says 70% here, but of course, you want to just give yourself that 100% aspect, right? I'm going 100%. Now, are you going 100%? I don't think so, because the body does amazing things when it has a lot of stress. For example, fight or flight. You're just going to be hit with a rush of energy, and all that energy is going to just unlock all the floodgates and saying, all right, no limits, right? Because when that happens, it's like, we need to survive this. How do we survive it? Let's give them everything we got. And if your body is not used to giving everything it has, or at least close to it, and the moment that happens, you're just not going to operate at peak condition, as in that fight or flight. You might be operating maybe at 60% of what you could potentially do. The body's opening up those floodgates, but you haven't even done the maintenance to make sure those gates are oiled well, that they open. Some people, like the cops are coming after them or their dogs are chasing them and they're trying to run and they can barely lift up their knees. That's because even though they have that fear, it's not enough to get that body moving. The body's just too heavy. It can't move. Then we go down to different types of things that we can do. All right. So I talked about sports. If you're younger, that's a really great thing to do. If you're older, you can still do sports. I don't want you to think that you can't do sports if you're older. But typically for the youth, sports are going to be really, really powerful. Not only that, but the mindset training for sports or being on a team is important too. Weight training, this is a popular one. People like to go to the gym and they like to lift. Now, there's different types of lifting, right? You can do lightweight or heavyweight. Doesn't matter. Whichever one you enjoy. Some people say, well, I got to go lift all this weight and I got to do this. Some people just like to lift, get a nice tone. They look a certain way, right? Do you want to be a big burly guy? Like, ooh, I got all these muscles. Or do you want to be toned, fit, maybe six-pack abs, things like that? Depends on what you're looking for. I like to tell people when they're coming to get fitness training, I say, well, who do you want to look like? Show me a picture. They might say, well, I don't know anyone. I say, okay, well, tell me your favorite sport. They might say football. All right, so I'm showing these big guys. They got these bellies and stuff like that. I said, do you want to look like this? No. Okay, well, let's look at basketball players. All right, they got a little bit more muscle, right? They're a little bit more slender in the waist. Do you want to look like this? No. Okay. So we go to soccer players, right? So soccer players are nice and toned, lean, fast. Do you want to look like this? Yes. Yes, I want to look like this. So we do what soccer players do. They're not going to the gym and lifting all these heavy weights and bulking. They're doing a lot of cardio. They're doing a lot of lifting, but it's more of how many reps can we do rather than I'm maxing out my rep. Okay? So a lot of sets, a lot of reps. That's what we're going to do. But you have to know that. You have to know what you want. And then this is for typically people who might be a little bit older. Maybe they have some problems with their bodies, their joints, and they're trying not to do too much. So they're going to do maybe things like yoga, Pilates, just stretching. Nothing wrong with that. It's not something that's only for women. I've done yoga. I did Bikram yoga, and I found that to be very rewarding. So you have to find out what works for you. And then after, you can begin any type of mobility work you have to do. So the mobility work is just, I'm going to be moving. I'm not going to be on the sofa after work. I'm going to go out and walk around the block. This move is that simple. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym. Add movement somewhere in your life. And then we get into the final aspect of fitness and wellness is we need to know what we put into our body. And I said this early on in the episode that we need to know what we're putting in our body, and we need to know what the foods are doing to our body. Now, I'm sure you've heard of eat the rainbow, right? But if you're just eating Skittles all day, probably not the right rainbow. So you want to make sure you're eating good, healthy, quality foods. You might not think, oh, well, I'm eating blueberries and I'm eating pineapples and I'm eating bananas, and you're eating fruits, right? You're doing a great job, but you might be eating it in the wrong way. MyFitnessPal is a great tool to use. They don't sponsor the podcast yet, but they will. And I'll have a little affiliate link that you can go to and you can sign up for MyFitnessPal, but it is a free app and you can start for free. Now, I always have my clients download this app and I say, well, just for the first 2 weeks, you don't have to do this for the rest of your life. I don't want people to think they have to do it for the rest of their life. You have to just do it at some point so you can understand the foods that you eat have calories. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. If you want to gain weight, you have to be in a calorie surplus. If you want to maintain, you have to figure out your maintenance calories. Once you understand what type of food you're supposed to be eating and how much of it, then everything changes. You're in a different ballgame now. My recommendation is you find what works for you this way, rather than just, oh, I tried some potatoes, I tried some rice, this is what's working for me. Yes, it could work well for you, but my recommendation, again, is to have an app that can record what you're eating, tell you what is happening, and then you go from there. All in all, when it comes to health and fitness and wellness, you have to know what type of mindset you're looking for. If you're looking for a mindset of training and doing the right things, maybe you just need simple mindset coaching, where you just start to take more action, become more accountable. Then there's going to be the little finer details of what type of workouts do you do? Do you play a sport? Do you do just walking in the evenings, in the morning, right? When do we have time? And we adjust for that. The last part is we look at the diet. How can we get our diet on track? So if you find yourself eating a lot of poor quality foods, ordering out a lot, then maybe you need to just figure out, well, I'm ordering out too much. Let me start to make some changes. Now, it's very simple to go to the grocery store, meal prep, but for some people, they just have this idea of meal prep. Oh, it's too much work. I would rather meal prep than go out and get some food. That's more work for me. I go to the store one time a week, maybe even one time every 2 weeks. I'm getting all the food I need for the next 2 weeks. I have meal containers. I can put them in the freezer, and when I'm ready to use them, I pull them out, heat them up, and I'm ready to go. Quick, simple, and easy. And of course, there's going to be date nights and things like that when I go out and I have different types of food. There's no limits. I'm not saying, oh, I can't eat this because there's 1,200 calories and I'm going to be over. Have a good time. Enjoy your life. You have to make sure that you do what you can do when you can. And then when it's time to do something else, do something else. So don't be tied in the old way of thinking of, oh, I need to eat salads for the rest of my life. No, you don't. You can eat whatever you want. You can be as free as you want to be. Just understand your body. And if you need help understanding your body, head over to reardenconcepts.com, get yourself some health and fitness coaching. And we're going to be focusing on wellness, the wellness of you and the wellness of what you can be. Because the best life that you can have is yet to come. So we can start with our health. We can start with our mindset. We're going to start with you. My name is Michael Rearden. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me coachinginsession@gmail.com, and I will see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone, take care.